Hello and welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the Starting 11 show for tomorrow's, I believe it's tomorrow, tomorrow's game at 5:30 at home against Newcastle. Coming off a big 1-0 win against Manchester United in one of the better performances of the season. And it's an interesting game because Newcastle are a little iffy this season, but they have the propensity to blow teams away if their attack gets clicking. Of course, we are without a few names due to injuries and silly red cards. So, get straight into things. In goal, Jordan Pickford had an absolutely fantastic game against Man United, arguably best of the season so far. Right back, Jake O'Brien. Seamus Coleman did suffer a hamstring injury in the win against Manchester United and will not be playing against Newcastle. And I don't think he'll be playing until the last game of the season if he decides to retire, to be honest. If he decides to stay, I don't see him playing another game for the rest of the season. Starting, at least. Centre-back partnership of Tarkowski and Keane. Jared Bramthwaite is still out, along with Nathan Patterson also to be mentioned for the right-backs. Both of them were absolutely fantastic against Manchester United, Keane especially, who recovered really well from the incident. Tarkowski was great too. And then Vitaly Mikalenko at left-back, who had probably his best game of the season against Manchester United. So, I don't feel as troubling with him about Jacob Murphy. Jacob Murphy's not exactly a dribbling sensation, a speedster anyway. He's a lot more getting his spot and whip a good ball, whip a good pass. And I feel like Mikalenko can't stop that. So we'll have to see. The defensive midfield partnership is probably one of the more difficult ones to choose because, of course, Idrissa Gueye is serving the first game of his 3-game suspension for lightly stroking Michael Keane's face. And so I do think it's going to be James Garner and Tim Iroegbunam. Of course, Merlin Roll is still recovering from his hernia operation and won't feature until the new year. So I expect it to be Iroegbunam, who's had a nice few cameos in a row now where he's looked good on his cameos. Stole the ball and almost set up a goal against Manchester United when he came on. But yeah, I think it'll be Iroegbunam who's looked really good in his cameos, and I think it'll be James Garner who's been, in my opinion, one of the better players this season. I know he's a little iffy with a fan base, and some like him, some don't. I think he's been great a majority of the season. He's had his moments, and he has his frustrating tendencies, don't get me wrong, but I think there's been very little to complain about with James Garner, and of course, I think he's one of the first names on the team sheet. The three behind the striker are the three you would expect, with Iliman Ndiaye on the right, Kane and Dewsbury Hall in the middle, and Jack Grealish on the left. Dewsbury Hall especially has been fantastic the past 2 games. Of course, Ndiaye has been great as well, and Grealish, although not racking up the numbers in terms of goal of assists, was really important in the win against Man United for winning fouls, getting back and working defensively. I think all 3 of these are fantastic players, and I should be probably the first 3 names on the team sheet, if I'm being honest with you. Besides, obviously, Pickford, and I know I said the same thing about Garner, but I think these 3 especially are just fantastic players and make us really comfortable that we can go into games and score goals because we have these 3 really creative, but also good goal scorers for their positions as well. So I think it's not mind-blowing that every time I do this video it sounds like it's going to be the same starting 11, but it's a starting 11 that's getting us points, getting us results, so it's honestly just what I think it might just stick to, because if it's not broke, why God fix it? And then, of course, up front, Mr. Record holder this season so far, Tien or Barry, I think it was 15 or 16 aerial duels at the end of it, won against Manchester United. The only striker in the top 4 and the man holding the record was absolutely immense against Manchester United. His role had to change when we lost Idrissa Gueye, but I think he was fantastic. He won the ball, he was able to get it to his teammates, and at the end of the day, if you're not scoring goals, he's doing everything else you could ask for a striker. It's just the goals that need to come now, and I feel like maybe the confidence of that Man United game will leak forward into this game, and since we're able to play a full starting 11 and not playing 10 men, I do think that will help Tieno. So, go over this one more time for the end of the video. In goal is Jordan Pickford. At right back, Jake O'Brien. A centre-back partnership of Michael Keane and James Tarkowski, with Vitaly Mikalenko at left back. The defensive midfield partnership will be James Garner and Tim Iroegbunam, with Iliman Ndiaye on the right, Kane and Dewsbury Hall in the middle, and Jack Grealish on the left, with Tieno Barry leading the line. Let us know down in the comments down below what you think Moyes' starting 11 will be, and if you would make any changes to that. Let us also know your score prediction for the game. I'm going for I'm saying we're going to keep the train running. I'm going to say a 2-1 win to Everton with goals from Tieno Barry and and another goal for Kieran Dewsbury Hall, I'll say, and then Harvey Barnes scores for Newcastle. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Everton Newsfeed, and follow myself on Twitter at Callum Brannan3. And I'll see you all for the next video and or live stream that I am on.